What's up, guys? In this dynamic tip video, I'm going to talk about 4 important things to do to preserve muscle mass when you're injured, okay? So usually, you guys got to understand, if you guys are training, at a high level, if you guys are training consistently year round, you got to understand and be kind of okay that the injuries come, okay? It's part of the game, right? Sometimes we can't avoid them, sometimes we can, but they're injuries. Like I said, they come with the game. Think about sports and stuff like that. When athletes get injured, sometimes it's not their fault, right? So usually what happens when we get injured, right, we kind of go into like this mode where we're dwelling, we feel sorry for ourselves. It's a huge psychological thing, and I know this from, because I've gotten plenty of injuries, Eric's had plenty of injuries, and it fucking sucks. It really does, right? It messes with your head. You feel like you're shrinking, you feel like you're losing a bunch of strength, stuff like that, okay? Now, I want to tell you guys 4 different things you guys could do to kind of reverse that mindset, look at it kind of like a blessing, right, in disguise, and you guys can preserve muscle mass at the same time. So the first thing that you want to do, actually you don't want to do, is you don't want to sit there and reduce your total calories for the day, right? A lot of people will sit there and be like, oh no, I'm injured, I want to reduce my calories, I'm going to get fat because I'm not working out anymore, right? So that doesn't mean you give up on your nutrition, completely. That's a good time for you to really focus on your nutrition, right? But you don't want to reduce your total calorie intake because actually, Kevin Tipton showed in this nice review that he did on injuries and stuff like that with athletes and nutrition recommendations. He showed that actually that when you have surgery, your energy expenditure actually increases, so you may burn more calories because of the surgery, right? Another thing is you got to understand is when you guys are maybe injured, you guys are on crutches, you guys are working pretty damn hard, as opposed to just walking like you normally would if you're healthy, right? So you're going to expend more calories when you guys are walking on crutches and stuff like that. All right, number 2, okay? You guys want to increase your protein intake to preserve muscle mass retention, all right? There's a lot of good studies that show that if you increase your protein intake, obviously over like 1 gram per kilogram, then it's going to obviously help you out for preserving muscle mass, right? So Mettler 2010 and Tipton 2015, they have a pretty good point that shows that why not increase that a little bit more, so maybe 1.2 to 1.3 kilograms per gram for the day, okay? This way, it's just extra insurance that you preserve muscle mass more than you would, because you're not going to be able to be training like normal, okay? So it's a good idea to just have higher protein intake for the day when you're injured. Number 3, so you still want to resistance train what you can, right? So let's say that you have your lower body that's injured. You guys can still go and do some arm curls, and there's like a push machine for your chest. There's stuff you guys can do. You can figure it out. It's got to be self-experimentation, okay? And vice versa. If you guys have your upper body injured, you guys can still do leg extensions, leg curls, calves. You know what I mean? There's stuff you guys can do. So don't give up on resistance training completely, because resistance training is a very potent anabolic stimulus to drive for muscle growth, okay? And to keep muscle retention. Number 4, okay, there's basically 3 supplements that you guys could take to really, help you out and help you preserve muscle mass, okay? But this does not substitute for your nutrition. So number 1, make your nutrition the biggest priority instead of these supplements. This is going to be icing on the cake to help you out, right? So creatine, we know creatine, it's a widely used supplement to enhance muscle mass, strength, recovery, energy, stuff like that, right? So there's 3 good studies right here that show that creatine could have a possibility with helping you retain muscle mass when you're immobilized, okay? There's other studies that are kind of on the fence that don't show that it really does anything, but you know what? Like I said, why not take it just for insurance? It's not gonna hurt you guys, so why not just take some creatine just to, put the more icing on the cake to preserve muscle mass. Okay, so with fish oil, okay, now we know that fish oil is pretty much just a really good supplement to get in so we can get our essential fatty acids in for the day, right? Especially if we don't have a high fish diet. So when you're injured, there's actually this study that showed that in older adults, I think it showed that the fish oil, I think it was like the omega-3s or something like that, that actually increased muscle protein synthesis some way, okay? I could be wrong, I could be totally, off on this whole thing with the study or whatever, but it's in this good paper by Tipton 2015, okay? And they said that it could help with the response to muscle protein synthesis, right? Again though, it's on the fence on if it really truly helps. I'm not saying it's gonna help exactly, but I'm saying again, okay? It's extra insurance. Why not take it if there's maybe some good evidence or somewhat evidence showing that it's going to help out. Plus, you got to get your essential fatty acids anyways, right? So why not take fish oil and maybe up the dosage a little bit? Now, I don't know the exact dosage. The researchers don't even know the dosage, so I can't make those recommendations. All I can say is just take fish oil and maybe up the dosage a little bit when you're injured, okay? HMB, that's another one that's been around and has been actually shown to help, with recovery purposes as far as like overreaching programs, high volume training programs, stuff like that. And also too with muscle mass retention too. Again, it's on the fence. We don't know if it works 100% when you're injured, immobilized, stuff like that, okay? But there's some good data by Wilson and ISSN Physician Stand that could help out. So again, just extra insurance. It probably won't help you guys, or probably won't hurt for you guys to take it. And it's like, why not take it if you guys are injured, right? You want to do whatever you can to preserve muscle mass at that point. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. If you have any questions, email us at dynamicduotraining@gmail.com. Other than that, join the DDT community so you get more stuff like this. Talk to you soon.